Good morning, everybody. Back in summer 2023, I reviewed the Anker 𝘧𝘧𝘪𝘭𝘪𝘢𝘴 power station, and I reached out to Anker and asked if I could provide an honest review in exchange for this powered cooler. With that being said, I was given full creative control, and I told Anker I was not going to make this video unless I was allowed to be completely honest. This is going to be a two-part series, so this video is going to be more of an unboxing / initial impressions, going over specs, and then the second video is going to come in 3 or 4 months towards the end of the summer after I've been using the cooler for camping all summer. So I decided for this upcoming summer, it was time to move on from a regular cooler and it was time to get a powered cooler. I was done with ice. My biggest concern was going to be, how am I going to power it? I don't have a 12-volt plug in my truck bed, and storing the cooler inside the truck was not going to be an option. In doing my research for a powered cooler or a 12-volt fridge, I was super excited when I found this EverFrost from Anker because it has a built-in battery, and I was thinking that could be the solution to the powered problem. So this one right here is the EverFrost 50 powered cooler. It has a built-in 299 watt-hour battery. It's advertised to keep the fridge cool for up to 27 hours, and the 33-liter model is advertised to keep it cool for 42 hours. Because of the built-in battery, I don't feel like I have to worry about adding wiring to the back of my truck bed or setting up some kind of solar setup on top of the rooftop tent. So I feel like the built-in battery paired with a power station is probably going to be the best solution for me. My plan is to run the cooler off its own battery. When the battery starts getting low, plug it into the power station. That will charge the battery. And then anytime I'm driving to a trailhead or if we're on a road trip, just make sure I keep the power station charged by plugging that into the truck. And like I said, this is a two-part series. So this part is going to be the unboxing / initial impression. I'm going to try to answer any question that I had before I even started using it. If you have any questions that I don't answer in this video, please let me know in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them in part 2. Let's get into it. At first, I was worried it was going to be too big because of the box. This box is absolutely enormous, but compared to my past cooler, the Lifetime 55, it's big, but it wasn't as big as I thought. Opening it up, the inside seemed a bit smaller than I expected, but I think that might just be because of the 2 doors. Here it is compared to the Lifetime cooler. I put 6 cans of seltzer in each. So I think it makes it look a little bit closer in size when you have that comparison. It's got this little side table, which I think could really come in handy, and it also doubles as a handle when you are rolling the cooler. One thing I didn't know right away was, can one side of the cooler be on while the other is off to help preserve battery life, which it can, but we'll get a little more into that later. And then my last initial thought was, this is going to be kind of tough to lift into the truck bed. With this cooler weighing in at 60 pounds with the battery in it, that is without any food in there. This might be a 2-person job to get it up into the truck. I don't want to take too much time on the specs because this is something that you can look up online, but we'll go over it quickly here. These are some of the main specs from their website. 299 watt-hour battery can cool the fridge for about 27 hours. That's for this 53-liter model. 42 hours for the 33-liter model. The cooler and detachable battery can be recharged with solar panels. I have not tested this out yet, but it did come with the cables for solar panel charging. Extra battery pack can be purchased, so you can swap out when one dies while you charge the other. I have the link for that below. At the time of recording this, the extra battery is sold out, but I think that's awesome that you can get extra. I don't know what they cost right now, but I mean, if you don't have a power station or something to charge, if you don't have a way to charge your battery and you have an extra battery or 2, then you should be all set. Without ice, all the space can be utilized, of course. And then they've put like how many 330 milliliter soda cans can fit in each cooler. So in the 33 liter model, 38, 43 liter model, 54, and 62 in the 53 liter model, the one that I've got. That is quite a big jump from the 33 liter to the 43 liter. All right, high efficiency cooling compressor with a 0.2 inch seal and 1.9 inches of insulation, making it fast to cool. It takes 30 minutes for food and drinks to cool down from 77 degrees Fahrenheit to 32 degrees Fahrenheit. I've got a little test that I did. The cooler was in my garage. It was only about 50 degrees in there. I think it went from 50 to about 37 in 15 to 20 minutes. Definitely cooled down quick. Perfect for camping with tabletop on the side and bottle opener. You can still eat on it even if the fridge is open. Yes, I do like that, because if you've got your cooking supplies or you're eating on the fridge and you need to open one of the doors, then you got to move everything aside. So it does have that little tabletop, which can be utilized to keep room for the doors to open. Ergonomic handle can be extended for enhanced portability. 6-inch wheels make it easier to pull. So yes, the tabletop on the side doubles as an ergonomic handle. So the angle of the cooler does not need to be as high. So if you're pulling it and it's like this, when you're holding on to the handle, if you've got that ergonomic handle, the angle of the cooler can be less, which I think is good for the compressor. You can also use the battery to charge devices. So yes, the detachable battery has two 12-watt USB-A ports and one 60-watt USB-C ports, so you can charge your phone or other electronics. And the cooler is app controlled even when far away from the cooler. I've not tested yet how far away it would work. I think it connects via Bluetooth, so not sure how far away it can work, but I've used the app a little bit so far, and it gives you all the information you need. All right, before I was giving you my initial thoughts, that was like right when I unboxed it. Like, I'm looking at this cooler for the first time. Here's what I'm thinking. This is kind of like my first impression after I've been using it in the garage for a little bit. So first thing I did was take the battery out of the cooler. I thought that the battery had to be plugged into the cooler in order for it to charge, but I was wrong. So the battery can be charged while it's in the cooler or while it's out of the cooler. You can just plug the battery right into a wall outlet and the battery will charge. Or if you have the cooler plugged in to AC, DC, or solar with the battery in it, the battery will charge. So I don't know why I thought that it had to be in there, but it is really nice to know that the battery can be charged inside or outside of the cooler. So you could have the cooler running on AC power, take the battery out, plug it in somewhere, or if you had the cooler plugged in on AC power, it will charge. It includes AC, DC, and solar cables, so you've got all that right in the box. Some questions that I had: can I charge the battery while it's plugged into the cooler? I already answered that. Yes, you can. Can the battery be powered on AC while the battery is charging? Yes, it can. Let's see, what else here? How long does the fridge take to get cold? Like I mentioned in the last section, I did a little test here, so I'll show the clips. All right, next up, does it keep ice cream solid? This is the ultimate question, and I have not tested that yet. If I don't get to that in this video, I will 100% make sure that I get to that in the next video I make in a few months. That's important. I want to show you a comparison of the battery with the power station. So this is the Anker EverFrost C1000 side by side with the cooler's 299 watt hour battery, a lot smaller than the 1000. Can you purchase an extra battery? We already answered that. Yes, you can. I've put the link below. Can you use one side as a fridge, one side as a freezer, both as a fridge, both as a freezer? Yes. So when you turn each side on individually, you just set the temperature to whatever you want it to be. If you're using both as a freezer, I'm assuming the battery will not last quite as long, but yes, you can. Durability. What's the durability like? Haven't tested that enough yet to really answer that. Is it loud? This is somewhat subjective, but so far, I don't feel that it's loud. I'm not like gonna do any kind of decibel testing or anything like that, but I do not find it to be loud. Show the app and the screen. Yes, so I'll put in some screen recordings here of the app. And then last thing I've got for now, it's got a drain plug at the bottom. So even though ice is probably not going in this cooler, it does have a drain plug in the bottom of each section. So if for some reason you do run out of power and you need ice or something leaks in there, I think it's pretty thoughtful that they put that drain plug in the bottom of the cooler. I don't have a lot else for now, but I have been recording this video over a couple weeks, and I did get a brief chance to use this cooler for a day trip this past weekend. The weather was probably about in the mid-60s, and the cooler was kept in the back of the truck bed under the canopy, so it wasn't in any direct sunlight. I did not record a lot during the time we used it, but I'll show the clips that I've got here. So we turned on the cooler at 8 a.m. and used just the one side, the left side, the bigger side. Set it to 37 degrees. I did have it plugged in while cooling till we left at 8:30. So the battery percentage was at 67% at 8:30 when we left. So this clip is from 11:55 a.m. before our hike, and you can't see it too good, but the battery was still at 65%. This was from a little later in the day, showing how we got it out of the truck. Here I am modeling how to use the ergonomic handle. And in this clip here, I kid you not, it is 6 p.m. and the battery is at 58%. And now here I am using the little table with my cutting board. And lastly, here's how we got it back into the truck. So we used the cooler solely on battery power from 8:30 in the morning till we got home at 9:30 p.m. and the battery dropped from 67%. When we got home, it was at 54%. So that means it only used 13% battery in 13 hours. If we had the other side on, assuming that was double, that would have been 26%. That means we would have had it on for 13 hours with it only using 26% battery. The temperatures were in the low 60s, but that's not bad. I definitely want to get or build some kind of drop-down fridge slide so that it'll be easier to access from the deck drawers without having to take it out of the truck. That would also help secure it in place while it's in the truck bed. I should have shown the inside of the cooler while we had it packed, but I didn't think of it till now. But in there we had enough for 2 meals plus 8 bottles and cans of beverages. I think that's all I've got about the first use. In conclusion, I am very pumped about this cooler. I'm happy with its performance after the small first use that we had. I know I didn't have to pay for this cooler, and not everybody can justify spending this much money on a cooler, but if you are looking for an electric cooler setup or a 12-volt fridge or something like that, I truly believe having the built-in battery is a game changer and could save you money in the long run, depending on the setup that you need to run it. With this, you don't have to worry about how you're gonna power it, having to set up any extra wires or having solar panels. Before I found this cooler from Anker, I was not really sure how I was gonna keep a 12-volt fridge powered. I was thinking about like, I'm gonna have to run wiring into the truck bed and I don't have a 12-volt plug back there, so I didn't know how that was gonna work. I didn't know if I was just gonna have to keep some like deep cycle RV battery back there and maybe figure out how to install solar panels on the roof of the rooftop tent. This is definitely a much simpler solution. I was thoroughly impressed with how quickly the cooler cooled to its 37 degrees. Of course, we're not in the heat of the summer yet. Obviously, this is just an initial impression and I haven't thoroughly tested it yet. I have linked the cooler and the spare battery in the description below. Make sure to check back in towards the end of the summer for a more detailed follow-up on my thoughts of the cooler after using it all summer. Again, if you have any questions, please leave a comment below and that will help me with my follow-up video. If you did find this video helpful, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time!